All right, this is a report of findings video, training video. So this will be the current one for 2023. Hi Allison, how are you doing? How'd you do after your first adjustment? A little better? Good. For a while, and then it got worse. We can explain why that happens. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Did you get a chance to use ice on it? Good. Did it help a little bit? Yeah, good. That won't make it heal any faster, but it can be helpful to minimize discomfort while it's healing. So let's look at your x-rays. We took a look at the x-rays looking for structural misalignments. They show up as either tipping or rotation, and you've got a little bit of each. We're starting with the upper half of the spine here. We're looking at the back, so this is the right and the left shoulders. You've got some tipping right up in the top here. It's 3.7 degrees of tipping, and then between the shoulder blades, it's 5.2 degrees the other way. So it's kind of a little S-shaped curve here. Your right shoulder is higher than the left by 14 millimeters, and within that, you've got some rotation. The vertebrae are twisted to the side. So those misalignments are important because of the way they impact nerve function. And this is all just in your upper back. You don't have a lot of symptoms in the upper back or neck, but there are some misalignments there. In the low back, we're looking at the same thing. You've got 2.3 degrees of curve in the mid to low back, and then it straightens out a little bit right at the bottom. Your right hip is higher than the left by 10.5 millimeters. And again, there's some rotation, some pretty strong rotation there. So those misalignments, again, are irritating nerves, causing inflammation, and the nerves don't work right. And the result of that can be some obvious things like the back pain and hip pain that you're experiencing. And also it can impact some more subtle things because some of these nerves impact and control things like your immune system, your energy level, your heart, your digestion, and so on. So we want to keep nerves clear of interference so that they can function at 100%. In general, our goals are two things, if you remember. One is to get you out of pain as quick as we can, and then secondly, rebuild stability there so that you can stay healthy even though you're getting back to normal activities. All right, does that make sense? Now we looked at the side view of your spine. Looking at the side of your low back, you've got a curve of 135 degrees. It's not bad. We want 130 degrees, so it's a little straighter than it should be. Discs look like they're holding up very well and very little degeneration here. Side view of your neck, you've got quite a bit of what's called anterior head carriage. We want to get your head back over your shoulders, and we'll talk about how we accomplish that. Again, getting that curve back takes stress off the soft tissues, especially the nerves. We took pictures with you tipping your head forward, tipping your head back. We were deliberately putting some strain on the spine, on your neck, to see if there's any hypermobility, and in fact there is. You've had some traumas with your past activities and hobbies, and it resulted in a little bit of residual whiplash injury in your neck. It's not bad, but it's there. It's a little extra play in these joints that makes it a little harder to get this to stabilize, but we'll get through that. All right, so our two goals, getting you feeling better as quick as possible and helping you stay better, building stability, are represented by mostly by an adjustment schedule that starts out frequent 3 times a week and then gets less frequent as we build stability in there. You'll get through this the strongest and get the best results by doing as much of the supportive care as you can. So I want to go through this together so we both understand it. Some of it you're already doing, using ice on it if it's sore. Again, that doesn't make it heal faster, but it gives you relief, calms down inflammation while it's healing. Second one is being careful with twisting. We talked about that the other day. How's that going? It's a challenge. We do a surprising amount of twisting without even thinking about it. But if you can be aware of it and minimize twisting, it helps us rebuild stability. The next one is maneuvers. Maneuvers are exercises we're going to teach you that are too boring to be called exercises, so we call them maneuvers. Yours are going to take about 6 minutes to go through. I want you to do them twice a day. And they're pretty self-explanatory, but you'll get an email with a link to this video that shows exactly how to do them as well. So these are very important proactive things you can do between visits to rebuild stability in your spine. They're designed to rebalance the muscles along your spine. Your muscles are strong, they're just stronger on one side than the other, pulling it back out of place. That's why after your adjustment last time, you felt better for a little while and then it fell apart again, because we got pressure off the nerves started working better, and then you pulled it back out of place again. We don't want to play that game forever, so your maneuvers will help rebuild stability. I'll ask you about these quite often, so when I ask you how your maneuvers are going, that's what I'm referring to. The next piece of supportive care is your feet and the arches in your feet. We did a scan that shows that your feet are pronating. Our arches should be like this. Yours are falling to the outside. That's called pronation. And it's an instability down here that works its way up the kinetic chain into the spine and impacts stability here. So there's two things you can do about this. One is an exercise at the bottom of your maneuvers. It's called the knuckler. It rebuilds or retones the muscles that hold these arches together. Two is the idea of orthotics, and I'm going to recommend that you get orthotics to put in your shoes to lift that arch back up. And when you do that, you want a flexible system, not rigid plastic, and the more customized they are to you, the better. So the ones we order online, we send this in digitally, and they build them right for your feet. They're very customized to your feet. You can do the Dr. Scholl's scanner. It's kind of a semi-customized effort, and they are flexible system. So that's not bad, but the truly customized ones are better. The next piece of supportive care is nutrition. You remember we did this Zytoscan with your hand on that blue gizmo. That looks at 197 things that your body's doing chemically all the time. You had 51 of them out of balance, which means you're using up your nutritional resources faster than you're putting them back in. So there's two things you can do about that. One, make sure you're getting the right raw materials. Two, make sure you're absorbing them properly. Getting the right materials involves a couple of infrastructure pieces. First of all, we want to make sure you're eating enough fruits and vegetables, and we recommend 5 helpings of fruits, total fruits and vegetables a day. How are you doing with that? Okay, so it's something you can be aware of and you can work on. Try to bump up the fruits and vegetables. Number 2, what multivitamin are you taking? None? Any particular reason? Okay, I'm going to recommend that you do that. It may fill in some holes in what's going on in your nutrition here. This is kind of like driving a car that's working all right. You don't even think about it, but you're not paying attention to the fuel gauge, and that eventually is going to bite you. So we don't want your nutrition tank, your reservoir, to get emptied out. So fruits and vegetables, multivitamin. To get a whole food multivitamin instead of a synthetic one, synthetic vitamins, you'll absorb maybe 20% out of those, 80% of whole food multivitamins. So again, to get a whole food multivitamin, the ones we carry here are good and quality, and they're whole food and fairly inexpensive, or you can go to a health food store. And then the third thing is your scan is specifically recommending some support for your immune system. So this ImmunoPlus is a supplement that you'll take for 30 days. And then we'll do another scan to see what's happening. This is kind of like a snapshot of your body chemistry, and we want to keep tabs on that. So we do these free for you on an ongoing basis, but we want to make sure you're getting the right raw materials as you rebuild healthy spine and healthy health. The next piece is posture and support. Do you sleep on your back, side, or stomach? First of all, never sleep on your stomach. It's very hard on your neck, on your low back, on your heart, and on your digestion, so don't sleep on your stomach. Hard habit to break, we can talk about that. Whether you sleep on your back or your side, you want to have more support under your neck than under your head. So it supports this curve. If you're on your back, it's molding this curve back the way we want it. If you're on your side, it supports your neck, which is not as wide as your head is. So that's why they make the contour pillows, and you certainly can do that. Or you can do your current pillow and take a towel and roll it up like a log, and you stick that inside the pillowcase along the edge to give a little more support here. You'll have to kind of experiment with the size and density of that towel roll to get one that feels supportive but it's not uncomfortable. Let's see, the next piece is when you're sitting. I recommend sitting on these wobble seats. The wobble seats are kind of like the old people would take big exercise balls to work and sit on them at their desk. This does the same thing. It forces you to use your supportive muscles and stabilizing muscles in your spine rather than sitting and them getting lazy. So I recommend you sit on that whenever you're sitting, as much as you can, either at work or at home. And then massage. Are you a massage person? Massage helps with stress management, and it helps with the muscle component of what we're dealing with here. So I recommend once a month, 30 days. Linnea does ours here, but you can do that wherever you're comfortable. So that's the care plan and the supportive care. Any questions about that? All right. The last piece before we adjust you again today is finances. So there's a couple different options. One is Platinum Care, the other is Select Care. Platinum Care is all-inclusive. Your adjustments, your progress exam, the orthotics, nutrition, and massage. All of it's in there. Select Care is your adjustments and progress exam only. In either case, you can pay as you go. Your copay is $20 or $20 per visit. Or if it helps you to prepay for the 3 months of care that we're proposing here, it can save you 20%. So you will take this home, decide which pieces you're going to incorporate, and next time you can let us know which way you want to go with this. Any questions? Questions may come up As this all percolates through, you're certainly welcome to bring questions. We welcome them at any time. We're going to get you adjusted, and then we'll send you home today with your maneuvers.